Okay, this is crazy. I just made $5,000 by editing a single 20-minute long YouTube video. Originally I didn't want it to, but I decided to reveal the whole process. Everything from the negotiation, to the editing, to how I did it. I'm gonna reveal everything so you can just do the same thing. By the end of the video you will know why did someone decided to pay me so much for a single YouTube video, how I negotiated and got 4 times the amount they originally wanted to pay to me, and what was the 2 skill required that helped me pull this off. So if you're serious about making money in the attention economy, you don't want to miss it. Let's just jump into it. So a few months ago, a message appeared from my clients. Honestly, at that time I wasn't expecting from him anything. I just finished a hard work period and I was ready to rather relax because I just arrived at Bali and I just wanted to enjoy the tropical paradise. You see, till now I only did YouTube videos for this client, but he just revealed to me that this will be a bigger project, something else he's working on right now, and he needs my help with editing it. He later revealed that it will be a video sales letter for his new offer, and the budget for it is $1,500 for me. I knew what a video sales letter was, but I personally never edited one before, and when I saw the expectations for the video, I kinda felt like I was being underpaid. I knew that from this sales letter he will be making anywhere from 6 to multiple 6 figures, and I just felt like I'm getting a really small portion of that pie. But this put me in a really uncomfortable position, because on one side I knew I needed to negotiate the deal, but if I negotiate, then there is a chance I will damage the relationship with the client and I lose the client. But if I accept the deal, then I will practically lose money because I need to hire an assistant editor for this. You see, it doesn't matter which direction I move, I would lose in both cases. While from the outside it seemed like such a great opportunity, I was just ruminating and it got me to a really dark place. During this time, I actually kinda got interested in persuasion, human psychology, and copywriting. And every time I went online, people told that persuasion on its own is not that much of a valuable skill, only when combined with another skill. Truth to be told, I didn't understood this at that time. But as I was walking in circles, thinking, ruminating, somehow this tweet idea that I just read, somehow the problem I had, and everything just kinda clicked. And I realized that maybe the answer to my problem is combining my editing skill with persuasion. Because on its own, none of those skills are that valuable. But when you combine them, they exponentially become more valuable. So I asked myself, what if the actual missing piece is combining these 2 skill sets, and maybe that's the solution to my weird problem. And what if the reason I'm getting lowballed and paid so little so often is because I just don't understand persuasion? I have my skill set on point, but I just can't communicate to my skill set to the world. So I ended up deciding that the right choice is to negotiate with my clients, because with the current state I won't be happy, and if I edit this way, he won't be happy too. So we hopped on a call and I did 3 things which I want to just break down after the whole call happened and explain why I did them. So practically the first thing I did on the call is I reassured him that I can do this, and I gave him a deadline of approximately how much it will take, how can I do this, and also what are the resources I will need. I said to him I will need to hire an assistant editor. He said I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, and it will take approximately this amount of time for me. So why did I do it? So for some context, he already had recorded the video and I was already like working with him. So he was already had some sunk cost fallacy. If I'm saying I'm already in the deal and he already had recorded the video and he knows first of all I can do it, and secondly, if he's already in the deal and later I present him the price I want to get for the project, he's less likely to step away from it. So secondly, I gave him a sales argument of why this pricing and this budget just doesn't make sense at all for me, because I need to hire an assistant editor and practically I would lose money if I will do it for this price point. I went with a non-needy approach. If the deal goes through, that's cool. If the deal doesn't go through, that's cool too. The biggest lesson I learned from negotiations, from sales calls, from doing anything is that the person who is able to step away from the deal is the one who has the power. If like you are negotiating with someone and the other person won't be able to put food on the table if he doesn't get that deal, that person has a lot to lose and they probably will want to get that deal no matter what. But there is a problem with this. Once you enter into this needy frame, people sense it and people will take advantage of it every single time. Once they see that you desperately need the deal, or you just made the choice that you want this deal and you completely forget your worth, the price point you are going with, you are very easy to take advantage of. So I always recommend to everyone, once you go into a sales call or a negotiation, go with the mindset that you can step away from it. And I have an amazing story here. There was this one time I was abroad living the digital nomad lifestyle. I had a deal, and if that deal wouldn't go through, I practically wouldn't have money to pay for my rent, aka I would be homeless. I was sitting on the sales call for 3 hours and I completely gave the expression to the potential prospect slash client that I'm the buyer and he's the seller. I don't need the deal. And this is some fucking high level stuff. Like I'm not sure if like I would recommend anyone to do this, but I was literally sitting on the call and I pretended I'm not needy and I don't need the deal. While if I don't get the deal, I'm fucking go homeless. But you just have to understand, once you show weakness, once you show that you need the money, people will take advantage of it. So best tactic with negotiation, know your worth, appear confidently on the sales calls. It's worked so well to me. I just can't recommend it enough for you guys. And thirdly, I used a strategy called price anchoring. You see, first he gave me a budget of 1.5k. I personally just couldn't work with that. So before getting on the sales call, I decided that I will set a highly ambitious price for this. I set 7,000 as my highly ambitious goal, but I really knew that like probably he will just say no, he can't do that. So I also went with a price point that I wanted personally to get at, and that was 5k. So I gave him a highly ambitious one, which is the 7k, and the more that I wanted to go for, which is the 5k. So why this is good? You see, I wanted to go with the 5k, and on one extent, before it, if I would just present the 5k, he would compare the 5k to the 1.5k, and that's a pretty big jump. But in my situation, I presented the 7k and the 5k. So first of all, no, the 1.5k is completely out the window, and he's now comparing the 7k to the 5k. So on one extent, it's a much smaller jump, but on the other extent, he's getting it cheaper. And once I presented it like that, the thing that I expected happened, and he said he couldn't do the 7k, but he said he could work with the 5k, and he asked me what I can do for 5k. Because I presented it in a way that I said that I can do anywhere between 7 to 5k based on the level of detail you want me to do the editing. And he asked me what I can do for 5k. And then I explained to him what I can do, and he's like, cool. Deal closed, and then we started the project. So now you probably have two questions in mind. One is, did I manipulate it and tricked my client into paying me more? My answer will surprise you a lot here, but the actual truth is I didn't. You see, this client will probably end up making upwards of 100k with this VSL, and it's a super highly leveraged thing to do. So if I give him something that's low quality, what can happen is instead of 100k, he only makes 50k with it. It was in his best intention for me to create the best VSL, because if he can just pay me double, triple, 4 times the amount, he can make an extra 50,000 on it. So I actually made him an extra 50k. And the second question you probably has is, did I kept all these weird persuasion tactics in my head? When I learned persuasion, did I like memorized everything of like, yes, sunk cost fallacy here, consistency by... No, that's not how it works, at least for me. Once you learn this stuff comes naturally for you. I just realized this stuff as I'm now analyzing the call back, and this is how I did it. But you know, for me this comes very naturally because I done it so many times, and it's really just something that's practice, and learning the biases, sales tactics, and all this stuff, and later down the road it will come so naturally for you. So I got the deal. I got off the call and just realized that I just hit 10k per month. I was ecstatic. But something that was even more valuable for me at that time is a realization that just hit me. I realized that while editing is an amazing skill set in the attention economy, if you want to later start your own personal brand, it's a very good foundational skills. You have to combine it with persuasion. Because if you don't combine it with persuasion, you will get lowballed, you will get taken advantage of, you can't make that high quality videos and can't help with other processes around editing. When you combine persuasion, the title writing, the hooks, the ideas with the editing, you create something magical and you can become something that I call a content specialist, who is not just this little editor person that just got paid per video, but actually someone who is taken very seriously and either gets paid a serious monthly retainer or is getting a percentage of the profit that the business owner / creator makes. Once I realized this, I realized that I potentially strike gold and I just found a gold mine. And I started to go deeper and deeper into the content specialist idea. So if you want to know how did I edited the $5,000 video, every thought that went into it, every creative problem I solved, every single edit broken down in a very detailed sense. Like, I haven't seen anyone break down such a big project in the past. Click here to check out the second part of this series where I break down everything, and see you there.